Hello folks, welcome back to The Slice and welcome to our coverage of Barcelona. Is that how you say it? I don't know, because I'm Canadian. Apparently I've been saying a lot of European things wrong, which we'll get to in this video. But before that, we're going to get to the semifinal matchups, which are from literal tennis heaven. We got Nadal versus Thiem, and we got Nishikori versus Medvedev in the semifinals of Barcelona, and these matchups are hot fire. So we're going to get into what I'm expecting, what we can look for, and what they've been doing in this tournament to get to this point in this episode of The Slice. Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Welcome to The Slice.
Thanks for joining us, folks. Welcome to the Slice family. If you're new, hit that subscribe button. If you want to go deeper with the Slice, we also have an extra show on Patreon called The Slice Front Row, where you can pay a tiny little bit of money per month to help support the Slice and grow and get your questions answered and get access to our half-an-hour show every second week. New episode coming out next week. But in this episode of The Slice, we're getting into the semifinals of Barcelona and what's been going on. This is our first video that we've been putting out because it's kind of a little 500 that sneaks up on us, but it's obviously got big hitter names in there like Nadal, Thiem, and it's just one of the first clay court tournaments of the year. And it's been great. We've seen unbelievable levels of tennis at this clay tournament, and I think it's just going to continue to get better as these players get more comfortable on clay. One thing that's been cool to me to see is players that haven't been having that much success or as much success on other surfaces really stepping up here. Guys like Nicholas Jarry. I think I'm Jerry. You would say Jerry if you're Canadian, but it's like Jarry, probably Chilean. And who else? Jan-Lennard Struff's been looking absolutely dangerous, or was. So, it's cool to see these different guys stepping up. Yami Munar. These names, man, they're just tough for me. So just let me know. I mean, don't let me know because it's really not that important. But we'll get to name pronunciation at the end of this video. But these matchups, how did we come to this? We were waiting for the first Nadal-Thiem matchup of the year, and we have it in the semifinals of Barcelona. We got Nadal versus Thiem in the top half, and then Nishikori versus Medvedev in the bottom. So let's just look at where these players have been at so far in Barcelona. Nadal hasn't been destroying people on clay. He's had some tough matchups, but he is looking better and better. He did do well to fend off Jan-Lennard Struff, who I just talked about, who's been playing very well and hitting the ball huge and absolutely going for it. Looking like a young Robin Soderling, if I may. Last night, Nadal beat him 7-5, 7-5, so a close match for Nadal's liking on clay, but he had to pull out the absolute goods, and on match point, he hit a crazy shot, just a stab running forehand down the line. Classic vintage Nadal. That was epic to see on match point. So yeah, Nadal's looking good coming into the semifinal. Obviously lost early in last week, so I think that puts some people on high alert, which I said in my last video was kind of warranted. It's like not common for him to struggle like this, but he seems to be hitting a stride now. But this is the first real test, I'd say, playing Thiem, the Prince of Clay, in this next round. Dominic Thiem's been beating 3 good clay players on the way to the semifinals, and he's looking comfortable out there. He's obviously had a bunch of losses pretty early in a row after winning Indian Wells, but we know that that's not where he's at. He's not going to fade out. He's a big-time baller, and he's here to stay. And obviously, clay is his #1 surface, so we've been expecting him to get back to this level, and it's been good to see him get a few wins in a row there. He seems to be hitting the ball through the court well. When he's had success against Nadal in the past, it's because he's hit big and flatter. It almost seems like on his one-handed backhand and his forehand, and then using his power to be able to put the ball past Nadal on defense, which is obviously one of the hardest things to do in the history of planet Earth because Nadal's so good at defending. But Thiem looks like he's being able to do that, so that's going to help him in his matchup with Nadal here. To me, this is the best matchup on clay that we can have. These are the 2 best clay players in the world, in my opinion, and I think this is going to be a dogfight. I don't exactly know what to expect because we don't know 100% what to expect from Nadal or Thiem because they've both been a little shaky to start the clay season. Nadal's obviously the favorite. Thiem's the underdog, but not a huge underdog anymore. It would no longer be mind-blowing if Thiem won this match because he's beaten him a few times now on clay, more than any other current player, I'm pretty sure. If he wins on clay, it's like, oh, this is not the first time that this has happened. It's not because Nadal's injured necessarily. It's because Thiem played a better match on the day. So we're going to see what they have to do. They're both just going to obviously want to be aggressive and play their games, but it's going to come down to much finer things than just like overarching game plan, I think. It's just going to be who plays better on the day. Nadal's obviously got that resume, but Team's got the younger legs. So we're going to see what happens, and I'm insanely excited. Should I stay up and watch it at 2 a.m. tonight? I don't know. Why don't you let me know? Should I do it? It's going to be tough. I'm playing a tennis tournament this weekend as well, so wish me luck in that. And then we got Nishikori. So that's Nadal versus Team. Sweet matchup. Let me know who you think is going to win. I am leaning Nadal just out of respect, but you never know what's going to happen. Team's definitely the underdog, but not that much. That's what I'm saying right now. Oh, yeah. On Nadal's topic, Gold Wolf supporter he sent me the Federer Uniqlo shirt for moving the Djokovic poster behind me. He's also sent me some cash supporting me on Patreon. Thank you to everyone who does that. You guys are amazing. But he sent me some cash to get a Rafa cutoff. What do you guys think about that? Should I buy one and wear it on the show? So it's like I'm a Fed fan originally, but, you know, I could become more in the Nadal camp. I don't know. You guys think I'd look good with the cutoff? I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below. But that's Nadal Team. We got Nishikori versus Medvedev, and now this is extremely exciting, and I think it's very warranted because both these guys have been absolutely on fire. Medvedev, if you didn't watch my last show, the Slice Front Row, which if you haven't signed up, you didn't, I ranked my 3 hottest players on the tour right now, and sneak preview is that's Federer, Felix Auger-Aliassime, and Medvedev. But I think you might have to put Medvedev atop of Felix now, and maybe even Federer, because he's the number one, has the most amount of wins on tour this year, and he's just been playing super consistently good. And now Nishikori has played very well in Barcelona. He's looking really good on clay. So this is a great matchup for them to have. Nishikori's playing Djokovic-like, I would say right now. He looks insanely balanced and just tuned in, and he's not taking too many missteps. And he's almost seems to be having like more power than he did on hard courts. Anyways, he's looking great. He really tuned in. Felix Auger-Aliassime actually beat him pretty bad. So he's looking good coming into this matchup. And then Medvedev's just moving way better on clay than I ever expected. I didn't think he would be able to move like this, and what he's doing is pretty surprising. But now you just got to look at him as a serious foe coming to this. He's still rolling. He's taking heads, and he did well to fight off Nicolas Jarry from Chile. He's very popular. When I was in Miami, I could hear them screaming or freaking out about him. Maybe there's a lot of Chileans in Miami. That kind of makes sense, I guess. But yeah, so Medvedev versus Nishikori. I really don't have much clue on how this is going to go. I don't even know if they've played before. I should have looked that up. Of course, let me hear it. Should have looked it up. But I'm leaning Nishikori because he's the more experienced player, and he's a great defensive player, and I think that he could frustrate Medvedev. But Medvedev is also playing super well defensively and using his length and movement on clay to do that. So I think that if Nishikori can take away his time by standing closer to the baseline or redirecting lots, it's going to do well for him because he seems to be the more clean ball striker at the moment. And Medvedev's kind of like the counter puncher. But, you know, you can only counter punch so long. And I think in tennis, the best offense does beat the best defense. But that's probably pretty debatable. But I think that if Nishikori can take away his time, he'll have success, but I really don't know because I'm not super familiar with either of these players, but I do know that they're both on fire, so this matchup is very exciting. Now, so those are the 2 matchups. I'm leaning Nadal and I'm leaning Nishikori, but you let me know what you think, and these both should be very tight. I would be pretty surprised if they're blowouts. I was also surprised that Fabio Fognini, am I saying that right? I was roasted in the comment section by you guys for saying Fognini, which is how it would be pronounced if you're like Canadian hoser like me. But apparently it's like, instead of saying F-O-G like Fognini, it's Fognini. Is that right? Fabio Fognini. Fognini. How does that sound? Let me know. I'm trying to get better. I'm always trying to be better. And you guys keep me on that track. So thank you. So thank you for tuning in. Stay tuned. We're going to have a finals preview tomorrow after we see what happens tonight in these matchups. And thank you for supporting the Slice. Again, if I've brought you any value ever, click the link below to check out the Slice Front Row. We have better and better things coming at you. And if you can partner with us, we'll be able to make the Slice better and get you closer to the action. So thank you in advance. Thanks for watching, folks. This has been the Slice Tennis News. I'm your host, Stephen Boughton. Click here to subscribe to this channel so you never miss a video. Click here to watch another video, somewhere right here. And click here to check out the Slice Front Row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll see you next time.